Hello, welcome to SpED 670, Curriculum Development and Classroom Management for Students with Disabilities. And I will be your teacher, your instructor. My name is Alan Smith. In this video, I will give you an overview of the course, a little bit about my background and the relative assignments that you'll have. I will be referring to a sheet, so if I make references to it, you'll understand this. First of all, you can go on to the blackboard and you can reference the course now and literally access the course outline, which will have an overview of the entire course, the assignments, the goals, and everything as such. But I'll provide some guidelines for that in this video, which is part of the announcements for this course. First, I'd like to give you a little bit of information about my own background. I've taught this course for a number of years and refined it, and hopefully it will be of great benefit to you. I deeply believe in blending theory with practice and experiences because I've done both in my career. I was a teacher in New York City for almost 30 years on different levels and had gone through many changes in the education system. In terms of afterwards, I became a full-time teacher mentor where I mentored many teachers on both the building and district level. I did that. I was a department chair for that. I was an assistant principal on the various levels in middle school, elementary, and high school levels, and oversaw the inclusion program as well as the special ed department for some time. So I have experiences regarding that. I was also full-time dean for a number of years, and really there's almost no situation that I hadn't encountered that hopefully will be a benefit to you in terms of our discussions for that. In terms of my academic background, I got a bachelor's and master's degree from Queens College, a professional diploma in educational leadership from CW Post, and a doctorate in curriculum instruction from NYU. The specialty I did at NYU in terms of my dissertation was on developing instructional material guidelines as well as an evaluative instrument to measure the strengths and weaknesses of instructional materials for students who have reading difficulties. And that meant, unfortunately, many students with learning disabilities and other academic deficits experience that, and as well as you probably encounter that in the classroom. Excuse me. With the new Common Core standards, which will be discussed at some length in this course, you'll also see how the new demands are placed on it will be integrated in terms of our discussion of using instructional materials. The course is called Curriculum Development and Classroom Management because they're really interrelated. Without effective instruction, classroom management obviously is a very bad byproduct of that. It's a direct consequence of not being an effective teacher and not fully engaging students. I'm trying to move around to give you the best view for my discussion. So if it's not that clear, I apologize for that, but you can get an overview from my own oral discourse on this subject. The course will blend both the curriculum development and classroom management in our discussions. I won't totally dichotomize one from the other because you'll see as we discuss it, by engaging students, you'll minimize classroom disruptions, not 100%, but to a great degree. I proudly discussed that in many of the years I was teaching, I had very few classroom management issues for whatever reason. I was fortunate enough to be selected eventually on the middle school level as the teacher of the year in the field of social studies, although I have taught math, language arts, and other subjects because of my ability to integrate effective classroom instruction with classroom management issues. I also published more than 15 articles in the field of curriculum development and classroom management, and I'll be referencing some of them during the discussions. Now let me give you a little bit of overview of the course. It's a 12-week course, so as a result, because of that, each week we'll have a separate component which will synthesize together for the entire course. It begins September and ends in December. If you look at the course outline as well as reference and click on, the heart of the course is the discussion board. Each week on the discussion board will be a different theme. You can reference the specific readings and assignments for that week in the weekly content, which is to the left of it. The readings for that, that are referenced within that weekly content, there'll be a separate link for the readings for that week also. There'll be two major instructional books that'll be used, textbooks that'll be used that are not of great length, but are very useful for you. One is by Nielsen, which is a brief reference to students with disabilities, as well as the other one, which deals with differential instruction, by the preeminent writer in that field, which is Carol Ann Tomlinson. So I think you'll find both very useful, and I have a feeling you'll be keeping those books as direct references in the future, and won't sell them like many, unfortunately, textbooks that you use in courses I've done so. So each week we'll have a different theme. You'll be having specific questions you'll have to respond to each week. There'll be a point value assigned to each week. 3 points, there'll be cumulative in value, and that comprises an important part of the course. You can't make up the discussion board questions, so you need to reply with them, because this course is active participation. Unlike perhaps in an in-classroom situation, you could sit back and listen and probably absorb a lot of the work without fully participating. You need to get full benefit from this course. So you'll need to do so during this entire course of 12 weeks. And if you missed the course for whatever reason, the specific week, you really can't make up the points for that week. So please participate as fully as possible. Selected weeks will also have weekly assignments, which you'll see within the weekly content. There'll be weeks 2, 3, 6, 8, and 10, and you'll have to do additional assignments, and they'll be fully specified in the course outline. Just as a reference, if you have any questions regarding it, you can email me. There'll be that's alan.smith@touro.edu, and I'll be more than happy to respond to your questions. Or you can use any other means of, there'll be a discussion board and general questions which you could place on there, and I'll respond to them also. There'll be some additional assignments which you'll have to do. One will be a article summary and analysis based on the theme week you select. You'll have to read a reference article. It has to be a referee journal article from a renowned journal, which will be listed as part of the databases which you'll have to reference. You'll have to do a summary of that, and you'll be getting a grade for that. You'll also be having an assignment which will deal with classroom management scenarios, and that also will be graded, as well as the final major assignment is lesson plan for students with disabilities. This is the heart of the course. You notice this curriculum development and classroom management. In a generic sense, the focus of the course is on students with disabilities from grades 1 to 6. And that'll be focusing on, and we'll be making reference with that. Now, a lot of these instructional recommendations, as well as classroom, will be a benefit to all students, but this course is geared to that specific population, which will be having, unfortunately, a great deal of challenge with these new Common Core standards. Now, you might not be aware, but there's a new teacher performance assessment that's now being implemented by New York State. It's called the TPA, and you can reference that if you go online and put in those initials or those 3 words. And that'll be for new certification processes for New York State that's being implemented. This course will introduce you to some of those elements, as well as some of the assignments which you're going to have to incorporate some of those elements of the TPA within the assignments. I'll be specifying that and giving you some references and citations that will be used for that. So those are the basic elements of the course. Please read over very carefully the course outline. Print it out if you have any questions, you see any errors on it, please email me. From feedback from students that have taken this course, they've been of great benefit in terms of learning things that benefit directly within the classroom. And that's really my goal. Although there's a great deal of theory involved with it, that underpins the actual things you'll be doing in the classroom, which will be a benefit to you. I always found when I've taken courses, sometimes they were too theoretical in nature, and they really weren't of direct benefit for practicality within the classroom. This class I've geared towards that specifically. I am positive that you'll find specific things that we will be discussing that will be a benefit to you in the classroom. If not, if you have specific questions, feel free to reference it for me, and I'll be more than happy to respond to you. Now, if you look at the discussion board, you'll have to give introductions to yourself. Please give a brief introduction about your own background and experiences so I get a feel for the level of experience you've had, as well as specific backgrounds in terms of working with students with disabilities, special ed population. So good luck for the course, and you'll be seeing additional information on announcements for SpED 670, which will be in the course. And if you have any questions, again, please contact me.